Hi there, welcome to another edition of Test Drive Diecast. Now tonight I'm going to be reviewing a retro 1980s model for you. This model dates from round about 1987 and it's by a company called Tonka Polistil. Polistil were one of the pioneers of the move away from 1 to 24th and 1 to 25th scale cars into 1 to 18 scale cars at the beginning of the 1980s, along with Burago. And throughout the 1980s, the two companies were fierce competitors in that model car market. Couldn't really get 1 to 18 scale models from any other manufacturer at all until Maestro came along at the end of the 1980s. Burago and Polistil probably probably slightly lower than Burago in quality, but not much, and they had a much smaller range of cars as well. If you go onto eBay or Google, you'll see the range of cars that they made. To 1 to 18 scale, I've got a few others, I'll review those later on. However, for some reason, the Porsche 911 Turbo that they made was to a scale of 1 to 16, and those extra 2 notches up in size were really evident. This is a huge model. It's markedly bigger than the Lamborghini Countach by Polistil that I have. Bearing in mind it's 1980s, it's quite crude and it's very light, it's very basic. One of the things I love about these models, always out of my reach of my pocket money as a kid in the 1980s. I played a game called Test Drive, which my channel is named after, and this was one of the cars in it. And ever since then, I've always wanted a model of a Porsche 911 that would have been available at the time of the computer game that would have been out of my reach. So finally got one in 2015 for £1. It said one of the wheels steering was, it said it was broken but it was just unclipped. It said it had a crack in the wing but it's just a seam, perfect condition. So really pleased to get that. So let's take a look. So the first thing you'll notice is the large size of the model. It's got the, I think you call these fuchs alloy wheels. Bonnet doesn't open. Now after I cleaned up the interior is very basic, it's absolutely fantastic. Adjustable seats, look at the pleated door cards, separate gear stick, handbrake lever. Of course, being a fan of a test drive computer game as well, I was familiar with what the Porsche 911 dashboard should look like. So this one doesn't disappoint. And it's got the separate trim on the doors. The whole frame doesn't, a part of the frame for some reason remains in the door, but again that's typical of models from that era. It's got quite a sort of semi-matte paint job, not the greatest of paint job. Again, it's a very old model. I'll have a quick look at the engine. Quite basic. One of the things I love about it. Your intercooler there and various belts. And your side exiting exhaust there as well. Porsche script there. Down to the front. Get separate windscreen wipers. It's one of the features I always looked for in models I was buying as a kid, separate wipers, not just cast onto the glass. Bonnet doesn't open. Quite like the lights, they don't have a peg in the middle, it's actually at the top. So it's kind of out of sight. It's one of the first early attempts where manufacturers have seen to actually make that look a bit better. There's the separate bits of plastic for the bumper, no separate lenses for the indicators or the fog lamps. I like these mirrors as well, they're excellent. It's got a separate rear view mirror as well in there, you can see that. Underneath, separate engine block, entirely separate, drive shafts. I mean, this must have been pretty something in the early 1980s or mid 1980s. And you can see there Porsche 911 Turbo Tonka. I'm not actually sure where it says Polistil. Oh, it says Polistil there, that's it. Now I got this for £1. It was very, very dirty when I got it. So I just spent a wee while with one of the things, if you're looking to clean a model car, a great thing to use, baby wipes, and to get the baby wipes into all the corners, a cotton bud. So having a young son, there's always a plentiful supply of those around the house. I think those are the best things. Also a makeup brush as well. So I got my wife to go out and buy me one of those. It's very good for cleaning models. So it's an excellent retro model, can be picked up cheaply. Now's the time to buy models like this, I think, because they're worth absolutely nothing at all. You can pick them up in good condition. If you like me, it's a sort of subconscious calling of the past of model cars that I always wanted when I was a kid, but saw them in shops or other friends had them, but could never afford them myself, and now I'm getting them. It's just feels sort of a calling of the past rather than buying an accurate model. These are my favourite models of all to collect. I paid £1 for this. You shouldn't really expect to pay much more than about £5 for one of these. If it's mint and boxed, obviously you'll pay more. So that is a 1:16 scale Porsche 911 Turbo by Polistil. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye now.